the market certainly has reduced the pricing of a September hike. I think it's around 35%. It was above 50 ahead of the meeting or the minutes. So clearly it's being reduced. We still think that there's going to be a hike next month, but as you say, it has become a more riskier call, and the potential for delay has increased, no doubt. You know, the Fed yesterday in the minutes clearly sounded somewhat cautious. Certainly no indication that September was going to happen, and they were worried about inflation, wage growth, of course, mentioning China, and that took place before the China deval.
That's notable, though, isn't it? That they're talking, and you're right, yeah, good point, that this was before the devaluation that occurred last week, and they did actually take the time to separate that out and talk about it.
Absolutely, and I think it does clearly reflect that there are worries about China's economy. I mean, the real numbers are one thing. Markets are thinking that there's something hidden message behind this devaluation that perhaps means that growth is somewhat weaker than expected. And I think the Fed has picked up on this.
Okay, so what does it mean overall then for dollar direction?
Well, we still expect the dollar to move higher. I mean, clearly there's been a setback overnight with the Fed minutes. But if we're right about the Fed hiking in September, and of course that means the markets continue or repricing higher expectations on rates, it should push the dollar higher going forward. At the same time, you know, we still expect the ECB to be aggressive on its policy. So QE there is not changing. It's still going to continue through September next year. The Bank of Japan is not going to take its foot off the pedal anytime soon either. So, you know, it does still show that we're in a contrasting environment between the Fed and other central banks. Even if they don't move in September, they're going to move this year.
Is this stronger dollar, they're going to do part of the job for the Fed?
To some extent, yes. But, you know, this would be a hike based on positive growth and better numbers on the labour market, on activity numbers, on investment, etc. So, you know, it's not an inflation worry here. So in a sense, the dollar will react to positive growth as well as higher rates.